Okay, we have the SL8 S-Works, boom, and we have an S-Works that I really enjoy. This is Natasha's bike. It cost me $650, and it was near new off a doctor. Unfortunately, didn't ride it much. Fantastic bike, which is lighter. The 2008 bike I got for $650 with alloy wheels, which is lighter, or the latest $20,000 bike we bought yesterday, 2023. Alex Dowser, he said it's 2023. Of course it's better. Which is better? Which is actually lighter, faster, stiffer, easier to work on, easier to travel with, far more affordable and attainable and sustainable. Which one is it? Which one looks better on Instagram? This one, probably. To me, this one looks better. But anyway, we're going to weigh the bikes and we're going to do some comparisons. We're going to compare this bike with so many bikes, because this is the bike on social media right now, okay? It's clout. That's what do you get when you go and spend $20,000 on a bike? And I just want to say thanks to Mark and Dirk at Bicycle Society in Adelaide. This is where I bought the bike from, local lads. So if you want a specialised bike, go see them. Jason Morrison also works there. He's a fantastic mechanic. So shout out to those guys. I did pay full retail for it because it's just part of the deal, and there's only 10 of these in Australia and they're sold out. So I paid retail. There was no deals. All right, there's no sponsorship. That's fine. That is what it is. It's just a high demand product. So there was no wavering on the price. I get that. This is your Di2 charger, and you got a whole bunch of spacers and stuff that can float in the Pacific Ocean one day. You got another little top cap here. Did they give you an alloy bolt for that one? Oh, it's an alloy bolt. That's not even an alloy bolt. That's a steel bolt. That's a bit stingy, guys. Specialized. You get some sealant in there. I don't rate road tubeless. I'll use this though for my gravel bike and mountain bike, but for me, road tubeless is dangerous. One good thing about Specialized is they still use hooked rims. That's good. Hookless rim, dangerous. All right. The problem with these wheels though is you can see that rim is wider than the tire. So if you ever get a flat tire, a fast one, you better stop riding, because if you hit a hole or something like that, it'll be a curb or just anything, you're gonna crack that rim, okay? And these rims aren't exactly cheap, okay? Anyway, that's the deal. So in the bag here, you get some spacers, stuff like that. Tubeless valves. Don't use tubeless road unless you want to play the gamble. So yeah, this is the deal here. It's so funny. All the experienced riders I know don't use tubeless. All right, the people who own the bike shops, etc., they don't use tubeless road. They use tubeless mountain bike, tubeless gravel, but not road. And this is for your little different Brighton things. It's a lot of stuff there we can put in the second-hand market. Anyway, let's weigh these bikes. I do have in my pocket, got some Air Max Epics on. So not Air Max, Nike Epics. And we're going to weigh this with luggage. These little scales here. Okay, let's weigh the bikes. Which one do you think's lighter? All right, we've got 2 bottle cages, no pedals. 2 bottle cages, no pedals. I think this one's got a pump on the other side. It's got a couple of brackets on it. Which is lighter? 2008, $650. 2023, $20,000. Which is lighter? Okay, so with alloy wheels, no pedals, big 36 mountain bike is set on there, and a cheap, crappy tire, not crappy, but cheap and heavy and durable tire on the back, 6.44, no pedals, 2 bottle cages, and weight in the middle of the frame there, okay? Make sure you keep these level and even, otherwise they can be skewed. So when you weigh your bike, keep it steady. It's a 2-hand job, okay? It's a 2-hand job. All right, now put that one down on the ground gently. And always when you park your bike, notice to put the derailleur always up. If you park your bike on your derailleur, you can bend it, okay? So derailleur wants to touch the sky, look at the sky, not the ground, okay? Let's weigh this bad boy. Oh my God, 6.44. Can we beat that? All right, there we go, 6.95. Body positive. This group set are very heavy. The Durace stuff is very heavy. The Durace disc brake stuff is heavy. You add disc brakes, you're adding half a kilo. This is carbon rims, all right? Imagine if we spent $1,000 on this bike, how much lighter we get. It doesn't even have lightweight skewers. It's got stock skewers. It's got an old Mavic on the front, alloy wheel with peasant skewers on there. It's got a Zafiro heavy tire, and it's got heavy tubes in there. I've got that DT Swiss wheel. I've got the wheel set for $100. So that's a $50 wheel set on there, all right, with an XX rear derailleur. So massively long chain, big cassette, 2 bottle cages, brackets and stuff, and it looks all manky. It's got COVID and stuff. Just, you know what I mean? But it's so freaking light, isn't it? It's got a mirror on there. And it's lighter than this bike. So this bike here, faster for the Tour de France straight away. Oh, but it's not as aero. Yes, it is. It's more aero. Count the spokes there, okay? Count those bladed spokes. And there's less surface. Now look at this. Look at all these spokes here. Count all those spokes. Look at this big surface area here. You got 30 millimeters of surface area in the wind drag. So this frame, I would say this frame's maybe more aero, maybe, we don't know. We can't really test that. We just have to believe that Kool-Aid, the marketing Kool-Aid. But we just know, man, the extra material is not as aero, all right? In the velodrome, these wheels will be more aero, deep section at 60k an hour. But when you get a crosswind, these aren't so good. Now, I was going to get the Alpinist CLX 2s, but for resale value, it's better to have these deep section wheels because noobs and dentists prefer deep section wheels. This is how it is. So, but if you want a better performance, go shallow section wheels like that. If you want better performance, just get a freaking rim brake S-Works. Anyway, that's the deal. So, less aero, heavier. Yeah, there we go. So I just did the stiffness test where you sit on the bike and you flex the bars like a sprinting position. This bike over here is stiffer. Because if you know these stems are ridiculously stiff. They're very light. They're about 30 bucks in AliExpress. There's Uno ones. They're really amazing. This is a stiffer setup. And I do have a deader 70mm plug in there, so that definitely helps with stiffness. Bolsters up that front end stability. Stiffness there. So, you know what I mean? This bike, made for pure performance performance. This bike, and then the iPhone ran out of space. But basically, oh my God, this video cost me $20,000 to make. Any regrets? No. This is what I do. I love to do it. People say, you haven't even ridden the bike, Harley. I own the fucking bikes, man. It's all good. It's first world problems, but I love to be the bike review guy. I've been into bike reviews since my first bike magazine I purchased in 1991. I love this stuff. Shoes and bikes and chicks and life and carbs and travel. The good life, man. For me, anyway, it's the good life. So anyway, what test would you like me to see on this bike? It's a letdown. It's a letdown, but I knew it was going to be a letdown, so it's not really a letdown. It would be a letdown if you bought this bike thinking it would be an upgrade. This bike is not. This bike is definitely, if you're coming from a rim brake S-Works or a rim brake, Scott Addict or a Pragma or some sort of rim brake bike, Durace SRAM Red with some nice wheels on there, climbing wheels. If you're coming from that and you're moving across to the SL7 Tarmac S-Works, top tier 20,000 AUD bike, you, my friend, are getting a downgrade. You will get an upgrade in Instagram kudos, and that's what these bikes are about. It's Instagram clout, They're not performance bikes. Yes, they're racing the Pro Peloton, but what's racing the Pro Peloton is purely for marketing. The Pro Peloton is pure marketing. It's pure business these days, okay? So your performance isn't as important, okay, as what the brands want you to ride, okay? Disc brakes on road bikes, they're just slower, they're heavier, they're more stress for the mechanics, there's slower wheel changes. Imagine if they brought in a wheels for F1 or something like that took the mechanics longer to change the wheels and the wheels were slower. More spokes and rotors equals slower wheels. If you know, you know. This video series is going to be epically fun. And let's go into it, man. Let's go the deep dive on the SL8.